Hello, my dear students of class 8. This is once again your Mamta ma'am brings a video for you. This time, this video is the explanation of science chapter 2. So, in chapter 2, in this chapter, I am going to explain microorganism. So what is microorganism? You know many things about that. Many of the disease in this world is caused by microorganism. So here two words are there, micro and organism. Micro means very small, that can't be seen through our naked eyes, and organism means living things. So it may be plant or it may be animals. Now the definition of microorganisms. The organisms that are too small and can be seen only under the microscope are known as microorganism. There are some characteristic features of these microorganisms also. So first one is, these are too small to be seen with the naked eyes. They are living and they grow upon feed and reproduce. They may be found as a single cell or a group of cells in the form of colony. That means it may live in a single cell, or that is called isolated form, and it may be in a group of cells, that is in colony. Again, this can be found anywhere, even in extreme conditions like in hot springs with very high temperatures or the extremely freezing cold of Antarctica. Next one, they withstand extreme climatic changes by forming a hard body covering around themselves, which is called a cyst. So these type of microorganisms such as virus, bacteria, this can withstand any type of climatic changes, and its body is covered with a hard covering known as cyst. Next, types of microorganism. So there are many types of microorganisms, namely virus, bacteria, protozoa, algae and fungi. So first one is viruses. You have heard recently about the coronavirus, the most recent one. And these a type of virus which is nothing. It is a connecting link between the living and non-living organism, because it does not contain any of its organelle or any of its parts for life. When it enters to any host cell, then it can multiply and reproduce. That's why it is also known as the connecting link between living and non-living. All the viruses are known as connecting link between living and non-living, and the viruses are the most dangerous microorganism that cause diseases. Some of the examples of these viruses are tobacco mosaic virus, then influenza virus and bacteriophage virus. These are the most important disease creating viruses. Next to virus is bacteria. Bacteria have the simplest structure among all living organisms. They are all 4 types depending upon their shapes. Rod shaped bacteria are called bacilli, sphere shaped are called cocci, curved bacteria are known as commas, and spiral shaped are known as spirella. So examples are streptococcus, lactobacillus, etc. These bacteria has a cell wall around itself and a nucleus, not actually nucleus, it is a coiling of its DNA, that is called nucleoid. Some of the diseases caused by bacteria are cholera, anthrax and whooping cough. However, some bacteria are beneficial for other living organisms. Next one is protozoa. Protozoa are single-celled organism and the most primitive class of animals. Animals means animalia. All the living beings are divided into 2 categories, broad categories, that is plants and animals. This protozoa belongs to animals and it is the primitive class of the Animalia. In terms of development, their sizes vary from 2 micron to 200 micron, and 1 micron is equal to 1000 times smaller than a pencil tip. And the examples are amoeba, paramecium, plasmodium, etc. are the examples of protozoans. A disease that is amoebic dysentery is caused by amoeba. Next one is algae. Algae are autotrophic organisms which can prepare their own food by photosynthesis. This is why they are considered as plant. We all know about the autotrophs that can prepare their own food. So examples of these algae are Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, Volvox, etc. Next, fungi. So fungi are heterotrophic microorganisms that lack chlorophyll and obtain their nutrition from other organisms because they cannot prepare their own food. They are neither considered as plants nor animals, but instead they are saprophytic. That is, they are dependent upon only dead and decaying organic matters. Some others are parasitic and reside inside the body of host and get their nutrition from it. They may be unicellular like yeast. You know, yeast is used in baking bread and also in pizza. So yeast, or multicellular like mushroom. Yeast are unicellular, and mushroom that we eat, which is the edible fungus. So mushroom is a multicellular. Then again, Penicillium notatum is a fungus used for the production of the antibiotic penicillin. This is the first antibiotic penicillin developed from Penicillium notatum. The microorganisms are useful as well as harmful. Some microorganisms are useful and used in digestion of food in our alimentary canal. Some are used in the food industries, such as we will study in detail. First one, in the making of curd from milk. Here is an activity, you read it yourself, this activity. Milk contains a protein called casein. When a small amount of curd is added to warm milk, bacteria called lactobacillus present in the curd start multiplying, and in this process they convert the lactose sugar present in the milk to lactic acid. Thus the milk turns acidic and the casein protein present in it starts coagulating. Coagulating means becoming concentrated. Once the whole milk coagulates, it becomes semi-solid and is called curd. The process is known as curding of milk or lactic fermentation. It is also helpful in making cheese from milk. That bacteria that is help in making cheese is lactobacillus or streptococcus. Next, in making of bread, yeast is added to the bread dough. Microorganisms like yeast respire anaerobically and they release a large amount of carbon dioxide during the process. This carbon dioxide escapes in form of bubbles at the time of baking. These bubbles are responsible for making cakes and bread spongy. Microorganisms has commercial use as well. First, to obtain alcohol. During anaerobic respiration, you know about the anaerobic respiration, whose product is ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. So, during anaerobic respiration, yeast converts sugar into alcohol. This process is called fermentation. It is used to obtain alcohol on a commercial scale. For this purpose, natural sugars that are present in barley, wheat and rice or fruit juices like grape juice are made to ferment by adding yeast in the absence of oxygen, thus converting the sugars into alcohol. In this way, alcohol is prepared with the help of yeast by anaerobic respiration of yeast. Next, the important thing is medicinal use, that is in preparing antibiotics. Antibiotics are the medicine that work against disease causing foreign microorganisms such as bacteria or fungi which enter the body. They enter, either kill or stop their growth. An interesting fact is that antibiotics are themselves made from microorganisms. Various antibiotics from fungi and bacteria are streptomycin, tetracycline, erythromycin, etc. These are the names of antibiotics, and these are prepared from some bacteria and fungus, such as streptomycin is made up from fungi, and the tetracycline and erythromycin are made up of bacteria. And also in the previous page we have studied about the penicillin is prepared from Penicillium notatum. It is a kind of fungus. So these are not only used to treat human disease but also for animal and plant diseases. However, antibiotics are ineffective on viruses and may harm if taken without the proper guidance of a doctor. So these antibiotics are only helpful in recovering of the bacterial and fungal diseases. It is not applicable on any viral diseases. So now one more thing is vaccines. You have heard already this word vaccine, but what is vaccine? So the human body has a defense system that fight against the disease causing microbes. A foreign microbe that enters the body is called an antigen. Foreign microbe means that virus, bacteria, it may be anything, any disease causing organism. That is called a foreign microbe that enters the body is called antigen. White blood cells produce a substance called antibody that destroys antigens. So, it is a very small number of killed or weakened microbes that cause a disease are injected into the body. Such small doses of killed or weakened microbes are known as vaccine. So, it is an interesting thing that such vaccines are prepared from the weakened microbes or killed microbes, that is not alive. So it is used for another microbes for fighting against a particular disease. The body develops antibodies against this type of antigen and becomes immune to the disease, preventing it from occurring again in one's lifetime. Certain vaccines like tetanus and hepatitis A and B have to be repeated to maintain immunity, because it has some span, that is some limited time for effect. So for 6 months or 1 year, so it is given repeatedly to maintain immunity. But now what is vaccination? This is called vaccine, and the process of injecting the vaccine in proper doses and at the right age is called vaccination. Many diseases like typhoid, cholera, polio, smallpox, tuberculosis, etc. can be prevented by the use of vaccine. Some of these diseases have almost been eradicated from India by the widespread use of this vaccine. Like nowadays the scientists or doctors are continuously fighting against the preparation of vaccine for COVID-19. So this is very useful thing to fight against any disease or for curing of any disease. So this chapter is very long, so I will explain in the next part of the remaining part of this chapter. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.